those things which are behind, and reaching forth unto those things which are before. Right, the prophecies, the things that are coming to pass, the good and the bad. Okay, we have to speak about the things that are good and the bad, man. People don't like to hear the bad things. They like to hear the good things. You know? No, man. We're not those men that the world wants. You can't be that type of individual, man. This is Isaiah 30:9. It says, "This is a rebellious people, lying children that will not hear the law of the Lord, which say to the seers," which is the prophet, "See not unto the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things." Right? So prophesy not unto us right things. "Speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits." And that's not what we do. We're not going to tell you a lie. We're going to tell you the truth, whether it be gentle or harsh or rough. Okay? However the Spirit wants it to come out, that's how it's going to come out, man. "Get you out of the way, turn aside out of the path, cause the Holy One of Israel to cease before us." And that's what the mentality of a lot of people are in this world. The wide and broad gate that leadeth to destruction, that's their mentality. Even though they don't want to confess it. But their actions are showing that, man. They want America to keep going on. They want to continue to be slaves. I'm talking about you Negro Latinos and Native American Indians, man. They glory in this place. They thrive in this place. They're happy in this place. Shit, man. For me, I'm sick and tired of this goddamn place. I've been sick and tired of this place probably since the time I came out of the womb, man. You know? The only place that I find comfort and peace and joy and love is when I'm in the scriptures. That's it. That's the only time. Well, you look mad on the camera today, or you speaking mad today. Yeah, because I'm tired of being here. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be full of joy and full of happiness upon my face. And inside myself, I feel comfortable. I feel good. I feel at peace in my mind. But because I'm being a little bit serious, or because I may have a look that somebody may not like, you know, doesn't mean that I'm not full of joy. It's just not coming on it's not showing out in my face, man. I'm tired of being in this damn place. Anybody that's happy to be in this place, you're not, the Spirit of the Lord ain't with you. If you're happy to be in this place and you're okay with it, all right, and you're just going according to the way everything's going, the Lord ain't dealing with you. Isaiah 30:12, "Wherefore thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise His word and trust in oppression and perverseness and stay thereon, therefore this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall, swelling out in a high wall, whose breaking cometh suddenly at an instant. And he shall break it as the breaking of the potter's vessel that is broken in pieces. He shall not spare, so that there shall not be found in the bursting of it a shred, assured to take fire from the hearth, or to take water withal out of the pit." Right, so you're going to be utterly destroyed by way of thermonuclear destruction. You're going to be ground to powder. Or you're going to, like Ezra said, all he perceived was dust and smoke in 2 Ezra 13. Okay? Not one stone shall be left upon another. All this, America's going to be laid flat by way of the ICBM missiles, man. You know? But that's what these people want. They desire those things, man. We want the truth. You know? And that's what Paul was after. Philippians 3:13, "Brethren, I count not myself to have apprehended, but this one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind, and reaching forth unto those things which are before. I press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of Yahushua Mashiach, our power." Right, so he's reaching forth toward that prize, man, which is ultimately deliverance, salvation. But you have to have faith and believe in that you're going to reach that, man. And at that, Yahweh Hashem has to guide you to. You have to be the elect. You have to be predestined from the foundations of the earth, ordained by Yahweh Hashem to be part of that number. Right? It says, let us therefore, as many as be perfect, be thus minded. And if in anything be ye otherwise minded, Yahweh shall reveal unto you. Right? So we have to have that same mind frame. Because whatever mind frame Paul had, he got what? He got it from who? Yahweh Shai. It's not about following Paul. It's not about following men. It's about following Yahweh Shai, because Paul already declared it. He follows after Yahweh Shai, man. It says, nevertheless, whereto we have already obtained, let us walk by the same rule. Let us mind the same thing. Right? So you have to have that confidence on that same token, but you can't be claiming like, oh, I am saved, like the rest of the world is. But they ain't got no works. They ain't doing nothing about it. It's all lip service, man. Just like out here, anybody can say, oh, they're down with you, or they're cool with you, or they're friends with you, but within their darkest heart, they're against you. They're trying to seek how to overthrow you. That's why there's no thought or word that is hid from Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Everything's revealed into Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, man. It says, brethren, be followers together of me, and mark them which walk, so as you have us for an example. For many walk, of whom I have told you often, and now tell you, even weeping, that they are the enemies of the cross of Yahweh Mashiach, whose end is destruction, whose belly is their God, and whose glory is in their shame, who mind earthly things. Right. So you can have these individuals that even know the truth, that are contrary towards Yahweh Shai. But even the people that are with them, that have that same mind frame, are part of Yahweh Shai. I mean, they have that same mind frame with the rest of the world. They're all the same cloth. You know? They're all of the same. Unbelievers. You know? Haters of Yahweh Shai. Anti-Messiah. It says, for our conversation is in heaven, from whence also we look for the Savior, the Lord Yahweh Mashiach. So we look, our conversation, our conduct comes from above. And it's established by Yahweh Shai. Okay? It says, from whence also we look for the Savior, the Lord Yahweh Mashiach. So that's what we're hoping for. That's why it says, lift up your heads when you start seeing these things come to pass in Luke 21. You know? 2nd Ezra chapter 9, measuring the time diligently. You know? And that's what we're doing, man. We're looking towards Yahweh Shai, because we need this place to be destroyed, man. We need this place. We need deliverance, man. We need mercy. We need salvation. You know? But this place is bugged out, man. All these people out here are fucking proud as fuck. I'm tired of seeing these people, man. I'm talking about these 2/3, the elect, you know? Or well, if there's any elect out there, man, you know, it's time to tighten up, man. You believe in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, you have faith in Yahweh Shai, it's time to tighten up and do what it is that is obligated of you, man. Stop bullshitting, man. Stop playing games. Because there's going to come a time where you're going to have, your thoughts are going to play in your mind, man. You're going to be like, did I do enough? You know? Are you going to look down on yourself, or are you going to look at yourself as being, man, I like Paul said, like, I finished my course, man. Let's go over here. I want to bring this out real quick. This is 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 5. But watch thou in all things, endure afflictions, do the work of an evangelist, make full proof of thy ministry. For I am now ready to be offered, and the time of my departure is at hand. I have fought a good fight. I have finished my course. I have kept the faith. So you're going to have that same mentality, man. You know? Or you're going to doubt within yourself. You're going to second guess yourself. That's why I'm saying you gotta, now's the time to tighten up, man. We see the day getting closer. All this stuff that's going on in the world, man, with this COVID-19, the government's shutting down cities or whatever it is that each city is up to their discretion to do. This is all a sign of America about to be destroyed, man. They don't even know it. Businesses are shutting down. Small businesses are shutting down, going into bankruptcy. You know, filing for bankruptcy. Or business just shutting down completely, man. Closing down stores because they can't continue to go through this the way the economy is right now. Slow down. You know? These are there's a lot of major things that are going on right now, man. And these things are not light. Be simpletons. And you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why the Lord said, you people are like wood to the fire. You compare. That's how insignificant you are to the Lord, man. You're just pieces of wood that's going to be burned up in the fire. Chaff, stubble. Because the Lord is coming back to retrieve the precious stones, the gold, the silver. Right? That's what He's coming back to retrieve. The things that have substance. Even though we know wood is a substance to want to burn fire, to keep the flame going. But it's insignificant, man. You know, it's a very inferior state than it is than gold and silver. You understand what I'm saying? Even though we know all things are meant for our use, and all things are useful. Okay. Right. So you gotta have that mentality, man. I have fought a good fight. I have finished my course. I have kept the faith. The faith of Yahweh Shemel Shah. Not the faith of in your women or your children or your job or in yourself. You know? This is 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 23. And this I do for the gospel's sake, that I might be partaker thereof with you. That's right. So that's why we do what we do. We prophesy, we preach, we go into the highways and the byways. We live it in and out of the camera. Okay? To the best of our ability. Because we're in Great Babylon. Like, I've been researching more into the herbs and the oils and concoctions of foods to use as medicinal instead of just consuming to be glutton or insatiable. All right, and these things are powerful, man. To have these different minerals, the minerals that we need in the body to thrive. These things are all by way of Yahweh Shemel Washai, man. And this I do for the gospel's sake, that I may be partaker thereof with you. Applying these things into our life, man. Being partakers. To help ourselves. To preach the gospel. To relay information. To give, to spread wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to the people, man. This is like herbs to us, man. This is medicinal. This is not just for I need to hear a good word. I need something to inspire me or something to motivate me. That's how these people use the Bible. It's just to motivate them to continue doing their wickedness, man. This is wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that it's gonna keep you stable in those times, man. The strength of thy salvation. The fear of the Lord is your treasure, man. Let me read that again. And this I do for the gospel's sake, that I may be partaker thereof with you. That I may be a partaker with the elect. Because this is all about the elect. I don't know if I'm the elect. But I'm doing this. I'm doing the things, and I'm learning, and I want to share it with brothers, or the listener that is paying attention to what I have to say, man. You know, putting off the flesh, denying yourself, fasting. You know, one thing I learned too, you don't have to fast to where it's just cold turkey not eating nothing. You can fast, you can gradually go into that, but you know, you can start off with just eating greens, you know, your salads. Don't use no dressing, use lime with you know, if you prefer to use salt or not. Some people don't like salt. Put a little bit of salt, put a little bit of spices, you know, stir it up, you know, make it nice with your tomatoes. And don't use that iceberg lettuce. Use good greens like kale and little bit of spinach, not too much spinach, because the spinach I believe is a lot of is acidic. You need a lot of things that are alkaline, because that's how the body it functions properly, and it helps your mentality, helps the way you see. So you do your research and you understand what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is that you could start off eating salads and then gradually going into not eating something for 2 days, 3 days. Maybe just drinking water. Okay? So there's steps to it. You know what I'm saying? It's to help build you up. Don't just feel like, oh, pressure, and that, hey, I got to do this thing without eating these long hours, these day in and day out for 2 to 3 days. You know? But as long as you're working towards that mark, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm getting at. It says, and this I do for the gospel's sake, that I may be partaker thereof with you. Know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize. So run that you may obtain. That's right. So you have to run, that you have to get into action that you may obtain. Because the world ain't going to receive it, man. The world can't receive it. I already proved why. But I want to get this other one. This is John chapter 17, verse 14. I have given them thy word, talking about the elect, and the world hath hated them because, Salaki, that's not it. This is John chapter 14, verse 17. Even the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive, because it seeth him not, neither knoweth him. But ye know him, for he dwelleth with you, and shall be in you. That's right. So the world cannot receive it. Why? Because the world isn't studying to show itself approved. They're not after the Lord's own heart like King David was. The way you're after the Lord's heart, his mind frame is by way of getting into this book. Okay? It says, even the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive, because it seeth him not, neither knoweth him. So the world don't know him. Y'all don't know the Lord, man, you 2/3. You heathens, y'all don't know Yahweh Bashem Al-Washai. And y'all don't care to know him. And that's fine. Because, again, this is all about the elect. This is everything that we do is for the elect. And for ourselves as well. For Yahweh Shai. Since I said that, let me get this one so I don't forget. This is 2 Timothy 2 and 10. Therefore I endure all things for the elect's sake, that they may also obtain the salvation which is in Yahushua Mashiach with eternal glory. That's right. You know, even for myself, I said, you know, it's all about the elect, but it's also about ourselves. Lord willing, the Lord is going to endow that upon us, man. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 13. It says, I can start all the way from the top, but 2 Corinthians 4 and 13. We have in the same spirit of faith, according as it is written, I believed and therefore have I spoken. We also believe and therefore speak. Okay? That way we may obtain. Right? Because the scriptures also say, there's one right there. So let me get this. Let's see where I'm at here. Okay, I'm done with this. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 9. This is the same chapter. 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 13. It says, "Do you not know that they which minister about holy things live of the things of the temple? And they which wait at the altar are partakers with the altar. Even so hath the Lord ordained that they which preach the gospel should live of the gospel." Right? So we know that you have to be a doer, not just a hearer. You have to live by the words of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Right? We know that. "But I have used none of these things, neither have I written these things, that it should be so done unto me. For it were better for me to die than that any man should make my glory void. For though I preach the gospel, I have nothing to glory of. For necessity is laid upon me. Yea, woe is unto me if I preach not the gospel." You see? Woe is unto me if I preach not the gospel, the truth. If I speak not the truth unto the people. Whether it come from the scriptures, whether it come from, outside of in our world, the money, the economy, the governments that be, city officials, the city regulations, the diseases, pestilence, earthquakes, the weather, churches, subliminal messages, the different signs and things of that nature, the herbs, the oils, stones. I'm not too knowledgeable in stones, but you understand what I'm saying. That's why my job is to speak about those things. Right? Ultimately, it's the book. It's Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai is our healer. Yahweh Shai is that physician. He's going to heal you, deliver you. He is your protector, your hedge, your strong tower, your buckler, your shield. Right? Your bow and arrow, your sword. Okay? That's my job, is to speak to you about these things, to the elect. Wherever you may be, man. Because we all have a job to do, man. The ones that have this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. So going back to 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 25, "And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown." See, the 2/3 people of the world, their faith and their action is towards building up this world, Esau's kingdom. It's not towards establishing the Lord on the earth, preaching the word, sealing up the elect, warning the people from Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, because Yahweh Shai is coming back as a destructive force. They're not doing it because they want to build up this kingdom and push back the Lord, like I read in Isaiah. It said that keep the Holy One from coming before us. Cease, I forgot how it was worded, but you really know what I'm talking about. Because they don't want the Lord to come back, man. Because they know when the Lord comes back, someone has to be judged. And when I say judge to be put to death, man. It says, "And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible." That's the difference. Because we're seeking after heavenly things. We're looking towards our Savior that is from above, man. We'll get this other one. Colossians 3:1. "If you then be risen with Yahushua Mashiach, seek those things which are above, where Yahushua Mashiach sitteth on the right hand of the Most High. Set your affection on things above, not on things on the earth. For you are dead, and your life is hid with Yahushua Mashiach. When Yahweh Shai, who is our life, shall appear, then shall you also appear with him in glory." You see? Like I read here in Philippians 3:20. "For our conversation is in heaven, from whence also we look for the Savior, the Lord Yahushua Mashiach. Right? This is Matthew 6:19. Lay up not for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. You see, where your mind will be, hoping and desiring the ultimate gift, which is, when I say the ultimate gift this time, I'm talking about deliverance. Okay, deliverance, because we are to prophesy, we are to preach, but we all want to be delivered, man. We all want to be protected in the Third World War, in the implementation of martial law, of the hour of temptation, which is everybody, the face of the world is going to be faced with accepting or denying the mark of the beast, which is the RFID chip. You know, it says, yeah, for where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. You know, your mind, that's where you're going to be focused on. That's where you're going to be hoping. That's where you're going to be walking in. Okay? That's what you're going to be conversing in. Your conversation, your conduct. I'm going to get this one just because it's on my spirit. It keeps popping up in my mind. This is Malachi chapter 3, verse 13. Your words have been stout against me, saith the Lord. Yet you say, what have we spoken so much against you? Right, the 2/3. You have said it is vain to serve the Most High. And what profit is it that we have kept his ordinance, and that we have walked mournfully before the Lord of hosts? And now we call the proud happy. Yea, they that work wickedness are set up. Yea, they that tempt the Most High are even delivered. So that's how these people have their mind frame. That's how they be speaking towards the Lord. The Lord's giving them the answers. Hey, I know your thoughts. I know what you speak amongst yourself. I know how you walk. You know? You want to be like the world. You want to be like the heathen. It says in verse 16, then they that feared the Lord spake often one to another, and the Lord hearkened and heard it, and a book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared the Lord, and that thought upon his name. And that's what we're doing, man. Making these videos, going onto the highways and the byways. Everything's being recorded that we're doing. Presenting our bodies a living sacrifice. Contending for the faith. You know? Rebuking ourselves. Looking down on ourselves. Getting on our knees and asking the Lord for forgiveness, man. Repentance. Acknowledging that we ain't nothing. We need guidance. We need Yahweh Shai, man. It's all being recorded, man. Those that fear the Lord, they're going to be doing these things. Right? And they shall be mine, saith the Lord of hosts, in that day when I make up my jewels, and I will spare them. And as a man spareth his own son that serveth him, then shall ye return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serveth the Most High and him that serveth him not. That's right. Because there's only going to be, it's either you're going to have the good and the evil, man. That's it. And the more you continue this thing, you have that ability to discern between that, man. You start looking, okay, you start weighing things in the balance. Okay? Then shall you return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serveth the Most High and him that serveth him not. Right? Because the ones that don't serve him, they're striving to obtain an incorruptible crown, man. To continue to thrive here in America. You know? That love great Babylon, man, which is spiritually known as Sodom and Egypt, man. Modern day Rome. Okay, the Roman Empire all over again, the rebirth of Rome, man. So I'm going to go back to 1 Corinthians 9, and 26. I therefore so run, not uncertainly, right? So you can't be uncertain. You got to run in this thing, man, having faith. You know? You got to have faith running this thing, not uncertain, but confident, knowing that you got to reach for that mark, that prize. Keep your head and your eyes focused up in the spiritual realm, in the heaven, and this book, man. Because this book is spiritual. It comes from up top. It says, I therefore so run, not in certainty, so fight I, not as one that beateth the air. But I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway. Okay? So that's why you have to live according to the word, man. You know? Be a doer, not just a hearer. Prophesy, preach, go onto the highways and the byways. Practice what you preach, not being a hypocrite. Being on fire, being strong for the faith, man. Contending for the faith. Being a partaker of the Lord's sufferings and not being offended in that. Not being ashamed in that. This is Sirach 42:1. Of these things be not thou ashamed, and accept no person to sin thereby, of the law of the Most High and his covenant, and of a judgment to justify the ungodly. Right, so be not ashamed of the law of the Most High and his covenant, man. Okay? Let no man despise you, man. I'm going to jump down to verse 8. Be not ashamed to inform the unwise and foolish, and the extreme age that contended with those that are young. Thus shalt thou be truly learned and approved of all men living. Right. Alright, so don't be ashamed of this word, man. This is 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 12. If we suffer, we shall also reign with him. If we deny him, he also will deny us. If we believe not, yet he abideth faithful. He cannot deny himself. Right? So if we deny him, he will also deny us. But don't be ashamed of the gospel. I'm trying to find where it says that. Right here, 2 Timothy